Welcome to the Sangha Garden, where we come together to grow the spirit and feed the soul. Today's theme is taking second chances. Desda Zuckerman is an author, healer, teacher, speaker, ordained minister, and clairvoyant. Her work is based on a lifetime spent deciphering the swirling streams of energy she sees around all things. The sacred anatomy is your highly organized and intelligent body of light and includes your physical body. The sacred anatomy is your own personal connection to infinite divine consciousness, waiting for you to call upon it. So let's all take a deep breath and offer a heartfelt welcome to Desda.
Technical difficulties.
Yes.
But fortunately, we have a second chance, which means we can just broadcast through Zoom. Our camera, which normally is what we use, didn't work. So here we are.
Can everybody hear me?
Can everybody hear me now?
Yes, Desda, we can hear you.
Fantastic. Here we go. So welcome to the first Sangha Garden of 2023. This is an auspicious moment in all of our lives. It's the first Sunday of April, and my heart welcomes your heart, and my eyes may not be seeing you, but my voice is transmitting to you. And I am sure that the angels are helping us deliver everything that we need to deliver. So I'm glad you could join me today, and that there's always a courageous moment when you take the opportunity or the work that's required to go ahead and take the chance to do something unique and new. So let's all take a deep breath together and make the conscious choice to arrive here together in this space and time. Breathing in and breathing out. Here we are, present. I'm glad to say hello to all my friends from many countries who are here from all over the world. I know you guys all understand technical difficulties, but it's always a possibility, isn't it? Sort of like what happens in life. Today, let's seize this moment to make our connection to one another. The vital, peaceful, healing connection needed now, everywhere on our planet, between all peoples of the world. Let's begin by establishing a beautiful, peaceful, healing connection with each other. This is global unity and compassion that can exist in this very moment. Healing ourselves promotes healing in everyone we know, our parents, our children, our family, our friends, and even strangers on the street. Having the courage to grow that inner child up, the one who's hiding in the corner and afraid to come out into the world and to make a difference, frankly, helps you take responsibility for your life and move into a brilliant life of service. That is spiritual maturity. So please join with me so that together we can ask for the blessings of divine creation upon this our gathering today. And together we can set our intention to lift our awareness in a unified field. Excuse me.
May our intention hold out the hope for a spacious opening into a new and expanded possibility. Mind, body, heart, and spirit, let us unite. As we focus our minds and hearts together, let's flip that internal switch to ignite the beacon within. Turn on your heart light. Light up your own heart with the glow of love and care you feel for your own family, the ones you love. They're your great teachers, aren't they? They're your healers, and they're your students, and they're your friends. Your family are your lovers and your trusted confidants. They're everything to you, and everyone is your family. In this moment, we are all together, each one of us living, breathing, contributing members of this human family. So you can begin with your nearest and your dearest and simply turn up that connection. Turn up that connection like a torch that can shine out to the people who love you and who you miss when you don't see them. The everyday people who, with their kindness and their smile, have brightened your life. Think of the people who deliver your mail, or the people who serve you your coffee at the coffee shop, or the people who bag your groceries at the store. So think of them now and beam your light out in gratitude for their gentle care and for all of their kind acts. Appreciate them, whether they are near or far, and send each one of them a blessing now. Let us set our shared intention to celebrate the bright light of this virtual community. Now, together again, and right now in a field of love and connection, let us wrap our arms around extended family, friends, acquaintances who've been part of your life and who are coming to heart and mind right now. Together, let's ask here and now, on behalf of every single person that you touch or that you connect with, virtually or even in person, through your work or your social life, let's ask that they may all experience a strengthened physical immunity, that their bodies be healed, and that their minds and their spirits be lifted up in a song of harmony. Together, let's feed our collective soul. Let's take a break from the chaos, the clutter, the dissension, the negativity. Let's take a break from the tech and virtually reach out from the loneliness of isolation and separation that we sometimes feel to the profound bond of our creative collective consciousness. So feel it now from the silence of your room, in your own world. Know that we are in this life together. So visualize your friends. See all the people you love and that you're grateful for, who are separated from, and give them a big joyous hug right now in your mind. Just send them all that love. Look into their eyes Touch them, hold them, and feel them now. See them crowded around you in your mind's eye. Having a party. Tell them how much you miss their touch and their presence in your life. Look back at people who've even passed and tell them how much you miss them. If your parents have died, tell them how much you love them and miss them. Friends and family who've moved far away, tell them how much you love them and miss them. So reconnect now in heart and send them the love you feel. Let that honest love radiate out into the world and feel your care, your attention, your kind love as you reach out to those fellow travelers. So living as your most brilliant light, be a beacon, a lighthouse, a torch in the darkness.
Move your word down.
I can't.
Make it smaller.
I'm trying. I've been trying since the beginning, dear.
That's good. You should.
Mm. Well, now in this moment of connection, even with my computer and my screens going crazy, I want to invite the healing power of the universe to bless us and hold us. We call on the blue light of healing to lift up our hearts, to open our minds to the wellness and the vibrant heart and the vibrant health of this larger potential, to enter our minds and bodies in an expansion of love and light. To free our bodies of negative, pain-filled beliefs and remove from memory the destructive, self-indulgent habits that far too often overwhelm our best intentions. And you know what? They take away our chance at happiness. Let each one of us call upon our cherished unseen teachers, guides and guardians to direct our paths and to show us the way to awaken to love. So join me as we call upon the great cosmic healers who surround us, the powerful sacred anatomy angels who support and guide us in this field of connection, as we keep our feet upon the path to wholeness, vibrant health, and well-being. Let each one open our hearts to love, love of knowledge, the wise voices who sing the beautiful song of freedom, liberty, and truth, the watchers at the temple of wisdom who hold us in our deepest transformational moments. We ask these watchers and guardians to come here now and to bring blessed comfort to each of us in our all too human sorrow, confusion, loneliness, and in our fear. And may they stand with us in strength as moments of doubt and anger unfold around us. May they hold each and every one of us close in a sweet, loving embrace. And may the messengers of light take away from our heads and bodies disturbed minds and fearful hearts. May we each return full and fed to our most authentic selves, coming home to wholeness, free of the muck and the mire of deception, lifting the veil from our own eyes and seeing clearly once more. We ask to be reminded of our collective strength and courage, of how in our best days we care for and love one another. How even when we're strangers, we bring comfort and healing to the lost and to the lonely. Let us know our authentic healing gifts and fill our hearts with hope and love. Blessed Father, Blessed Mother, blessed guardians of the north, south, east, and west, we ask for the grace of divine source, the compassionate heart of the universal truth, the creative force within you, within me, within everything, great and small, filling hesitations, great and small, with hope and soothing, anger and fear and distress and terribly difficult things, soothing them with tranquility. In peace, we ask that the transformation of harsh feelings of doubt and fear transform into loving kindness, giving us the opportunity to share an optimistic vision for a new and blossoming day, because each and every one of us has a right to feel good about our lives. And each and every one of us has an opportunity at a second chance. Even if you feel you've blown that first one, may the force of this divine totality consecrate you and bring you gently back to your own heart. May it fill each and every one of us with a joyous, awakened awareness as we gather together in soulful communion of open hearts and minds. Right now, outside of time and space, in the union of potent collective consciousness that is the peaceful home of every single heart. Together we can take this chance. We can have the courage to take the leap. We can lift up the future in our arms and share this new potential arising within this moment of aligned consciousness. It is our aligned consciousness that gives us the potential to affect all reality. We accept this initiation of courage, descending from the mind and the heart of divine source, the empowerment that comes in the dark when we face the unknown, the great unspoken mystery all around us, the mystic union of birth and death, of love and of suffering that we share. We accept the inspiration of strength that arises from where each of our journeys take us. The deep disappointments and tragedies of life that bring us face to face with our fears. The push and the pull of life that teaches us, that helps us to overcome harsh habits and damaging patterns which keep us small, pull us off track, and push us into the disharmony of reactive anger or vengeance or meanness or gossip. Let's lay our burdens down. The old gospel song says, "Glory, glory, hallelujah, when I lay my burdens down." Those things that bring you shame, that you remember as betrayals or cruel attacks, maybe the narrow way you have blamed others and not taken a hard look at your own responsibilities for the way things spun out of control. Holding up your own part when you may have had life experiences that still haunt you. These imperfect, harsh, or damaging thoughts they're just too painful to keep carrying. So lay your burdens down. Sing glory, glory, hallelujah as you lay your burdens down. With a deep breath, allow these realities, these hard moments, to finally rest in the softness of restorative faith in life itself. Lay your burdens down, and please join me in silence. Today, I want to talk about taking second chances. Well, we all have those profound moments, don't we? When the curtain parts and the possibility of a second act looks real. How can we determine something is in fact a second chance? Or we might take a second chance at something precious. First, you have to start at the beginning and realize that the first chance was there. So you have to remember that first chance. Bring it back up into your mind. Bring the time back when your life was filled with regrets, or maybe your actions caused sorrow. Maybe it was something you said or you did or wish you hadn't said or done. Or maybe it was an irresponsible, thoughtless, self-centered act, a blunder, something in a normal day you might not have done, but you just did it in that moment. You weren't yourself, or maybe you were all too much yourself. So that was your first chance to do something right. But instead you got it wrong. You didn't do anything about it. You just started to feel ashamed. So most of us are really afraid to admit that we're not perfect. that we make mistakes. Things go wrong. And sometimes things spin out of control. You have absolutely no control over what's going on in the moment. So you have to look at, is that me? Did I do that? So if all your regrets, if everything you regret in your life is about what people did to you, this inability sort of to admit the truth that may be at the heart of your deep unhappiness and dis-ease, that maybe you had something to do with it. Oh, we're funny, aren't we? But to take a second chance means taking responsibility for whatever you did or didn't do that caused you to totally blow that first chance. Did you even recognize it when you were in it? Did you miss it? Or maybe you blew up the first chance in some boneheaded move you didn't mean to make, but you did it anyway. So right now in this moment, let's call that regret up. Just bring it to front of mind. Pull it up from the back of your head where it stews and putrefies in anger and mostly shame and guilt. And the unfulfilled chance that's still rambling around in your heart, your mind, and the memories will come up. Bring them up, dawning like kind of like a little thunderstorm rolling across the horizon of your mind. And there it is, that old reliable friend, the one that you think about just before you go to sleep, or sometimes just when you wake up in the morning when you're in that drowsy state. So pull that memory to the front of your mind, dial in your awareness, bring it into sharp focus right now. As regret arises, we're filled with the desire to go forward, to make progress, and ultimately to stabilize again. But to do that means you must crystallize the feeling, the memory of that emotion. You've got to bring it up, now. To completely and utterly let go of the memory of that first chance at happiness, contentment, satisfaction, that one that takes hold of your mind, your heart, your very breath, and makes you confront it the way you remember it. Sometimes the way we remember things isn't even right, but we're using that memory to break ourselves. And how does that feel inside? How does that memory that you're holding, that one where you blew your chance, how does that look to you in the rearview mirror? Where in your physical body do you remember holding that memory of that first very important chance that you blew? So you just wish you could have another chance. Something near and dear to your heart that in some important way laid a rocky foundation. That about which even now you find you're filled with disdain and regret. So we use these memories that we have of the times that got away, the sort of like the fisherman who the big one got away. And that's what we do. We have these memories that get away from us. And then we sit in this crazy foundation. It's like we lay cement and then lay down in it. So think about how you define yourself. I mean, most of us like to push those memories into the back of our mind, and then they putrefy back there and they don't do much except become necrotic. And necrotic tissue has to be cut out. You can't live with necrotic tissue in your body. So how are you defining yourself out of this necrosis, out of this death spiral in the back of your head? Can you even let yourself look at the nastiness? Sometimes, don't we feel like when we look at these terrible things, don't we feel like, well, people did this to me and I'm a victim of that and this is so terrible and I wouldn't have done that if I could have done differently. But you didn't, you see? And that's the part where you need to just say, okay, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm the one who didn't do it. Nobody else made it happen. I'm the one who didn't do it. Or do you absolutely refuse to admit that that's possible? I definitely have met people that say things like that. I absolutely have no fault, And that's the problem, you see. Because when we start thinking in terms of blame and fault and I'm right, then what happens, you guys? What happens is that we stay broken. We don't really move into healing when we're looking to blame, whether it be ourselves or someone else. It doesn't really matter. God, we struggle with memories, don't we? And the way they shape us and form us, the responses we have to hope, to tomorrow, to love. So you have to ask the question, what matters to me? What stops me? And what can I do to find the light and take that second chance? What if traveling into the heart of that memory could show you how you really are and who you really are? What if all your hours of spiritual practice, prayer and study and entreaty and therapy and talking to your friends ad infinitum about the things that went wrong and why? What if they were more than their own reward? What if that memory could be crystallized and freed? What if it was not something to be feared or wrestled with or hated or pushed down or lied to yourself about? What if it wasn't something to be ashamed of or embarrassed by? What if an essential part of your own human nature that was important and even necessary for continued growth was in that memory, was caught up somehow in that part that's necrotically dying in the back of your head? You got to remember, you're never going to get to the spirit through mind. You're actually not going to be able to ascend, to become, to enlighten if you're constantly just trying to think your way there. You actually have to allow the spirit to move within you. And I don't mean some kind of religious feature. I'm talking about your own internal nature. That is your spirit. You can't grasp at straws and hope that finally, maybe one day, you'll not be caught in the memory of that lost chance. No, you got to release it. You got to let it go. So take a big, deep breath, as deep as you can, and hold that big breath as long as you can. And then as you release it, crystallize that memory. Lock it in amber like a 1,000,000-year-old bug. Take another deep breath. Hold it, letting your first chance memory build up under that held breath. Hold it even more and release. Letting it go, breathing out, releasing the memory, the blown chance, the missed opportunity, the lost whatever, right? As you breathe in again, hold it again, and release again. Breathe in again, and out again. And now ball up that memory, the amber locked regret, the blown chance, and hold it in your hands. Just pull it out of your head, pull it out of your body where it rested, pull it out of your heart, pull it out of everywhere, and make a ball of it. Ball it up into your hands. Now breathe in big. And with all your might, throw that ball into the sun. Do it. Actually wad up this memory like it's trash, like something that has no value anymore, and throw it as hard as you can to the sun. Physically, do it now. That's just the first step. That's just the beginning. And now we're getting started. I'd like to introduce you to an extraordinary part of the subtle structure, the core. And at the core of your subtle structure is a pillar of light that has no beginning. It has no end. It's a line from the very center of the universe that moves through you. A triple current stream of light flowing down through your entire big energy structure, which is 20 feet above you and 20 feet below you and 20 feet to the left and the right. We're huge. And your core can never be broken. It can never be injured or traumatized. It's a divine fragment, a filament of light. And it's never angry or sad. It doesn't have an agenda. It's the very manifestation of the totality of life, of everything there is within you. It's the spark of creation, and it's surrounded with a sheath that contains it and protects it always. This core sheath takes the slings and arrows of life. It understands the gifts of the hourglass while it's not subject to the cruelty, and it knows what your negativity truly is. It experiences all of it. The hourglass that flows through our entire experience of life, each drop, each grain of sand, a second in your life, the hourglass releasing all of it, all the time. So when you fill your core and your core sheath with universal love and light, the soothing balm of the universe, you can let this powerful energy fill you up and fill you full of spaciousness, of forgiving, of allowing. and you can allow the core and its sheath to expand. So extend your light fingers in this moment. Shoot them out of the tips of your fingers and reach into your core. Push them in through your body to your spine where your core resides, and simply touch your core sheath. And thank it right now. Thank it for holding the totality of creation within you. Thank it for knowing who you are, for witnessing you in your daily life, for knowing your secrets and not condemning you for them. And give thanks for this opportunity to feel real gratitude for the chance to touch the center of your structure, to say yes to the soul within you, the great totality of all life within you, the divine source breathing and living within you. The power to move forward is within you now. The power to seize that second chance. The second you realize there's a possibility, that's when you begin to seize it. You can recognize hope, failing into it, sensing yourself building to it. There's actually a place at your very center where you've been holding your chance at happiness and success, of freedom, forever. And it's the place where you think and you feel how things could be different than they are. Now feel into that core. Feel it pulsing all the way through your whole body, coming into the top of your head and leaving out the bottom of your spine and going down through your knees and your ankles all the way deep below you, coming from way above you, going all the way through you. The way we hold trauma and pain is actually in the core sheath. And there's a thing called the core impingement that is how we hold our stress and our trauma. And you know, in your body, you have places that are holding tight related to traumas and upsets. And these are spots where you've recoiled or pulled back when you've lost your best chance. That's what you do, don't you? You pull back. Times when you grab for the brass ring and you miss, this is where you hold that in your subtle energy structure. And would you like to heal that now? If your answer is yes, let's extend those light fingers again. Send them out again. And now feel into your body, telegraphing your intention to connect again with your core sheath, coming all the way in, going deep into your body, sensing your core sheath. And you don't have to push through it. It's probably better if you don't. Just touch the core sheath at your center. And that is not your core, but it's the sheath around your core. And that's as close as you should get. Because the core is sacred, holy, within you. And just touching your sheath there at the center. So within your heart of hearts, you're holding this second chance. And you've been suppressing everything to protect yourself, to keep you alive and growing, to defend who you truly are. And the choice is home inside you, and it's not afraid of your mistakes or your confusion. It is within you. So this is the place that holds your glorious opportunities directly underneath it. The chance at a real solution, at something concrete that could take you to openings. No, it's actually just right there at your center. And it is impinging this trauma that you experienced where you lost your chance. It's impinging the sheath surrounding your core. So as your core moves through the sheath, it has to pull in right at that spot. And in the general, the subtle energy structure, traumas and memories hold as representative injury. And these places are waiting patiently for you to bring into consciousness your connection to the event, to that moment when you kind of lost touch. The emotion you felt and the result you got. Like underneath all the excuses and all the drama is just an impingement. That's all it is. And it's waiting for you to unlock it and let it go. So core impingement is really common. We all have it. Most people experience at least a couple of them, if not more, most of the time. And core impingement is caused by trauma, injury, upset, infirmity, and karma. So karma is just action, unresolved. It's unreleased. It's a burden you refuse to let go of, something you're holding on to that's unfinished. That's karma. Incomplete. In the sacred anatomy, this can look like your core sheath, which is exactly that, the sheath around your inner core. And it appears to be wearing a kind of belt at each of these affected locations. People often feel core impingement as an inner tightness or kind of a catch in the muscles and the bones, like a spot along your core where you just always feel tight. Like some people feel real tightness around their throat or in their solar plexus. And it's created when the core sheath is constricted and it sort of stays stuck in a holding pattern. And this is caused by long-standing karmic difficulties and or cumulative stress of living this present life and giving the memory of the issue that you have back there in the back of your head a kind of feeling of heaviness. That thing you wish you'd never done, right? It is fundamental because it permeates every part of your experience of living, and the core impingement deeply affects the quality of your life. Sometimes you'll have to wait years to get an impingement to release. People usually have more than one impingement. And as they release them, they get happier, they get lighter, their attitude changes, they're freed up to really get into their life. And oh yes, they find that second chance. So listen to your intuition and be cautious. Not all impingements will be ready to release, and sometimes we hang on to them. If you're really ready to own your life and the healing journey is right now, this is it. If you're ready, this is it. And you're ready to move ahead with this exercise, well, then we'll do it together. But if it's too soon for you to let go, then just witness your own core and your core sheath. Like literally just sit there with your fingers touching them. Because it will have been watching and quietly, learning from you your whole life. And simply witnessing it as it is, as it exists within you, that could be enough. That could be enough for you. But if you want to try and engage really consciously with your sacred anatomy, then come along. It's your choice. Nobody's doing anything to you. We're going to just suggest that you take the chance if you feel moved to do so. And if not, just sit with your core and your core sheath and your light fingers gently touching. So we're going to use our light fingers. We're going to stick them deep into the body, into the core, which is, as I said, located at the spine, back within you. And you're going to stroke your core sheath, starting at the top of your core. So move your light fingers up to the top of your core and just stroke it all the way down. Stroke it all the way down. And you'll feel places that are impinged. You'll feel spots where things pull in. And like, oh my goodness, I had no idea. And you go all the way down. Take your core all the way down. And then remove your light fingers, come all the way back up, place them in again at the top, and then go all the way down. So if you don't feel anything, push your fingers further in, because you could just not be on the right spot. And it's not necessary to determine cause, but sometimes memories come up while you're touching the core that are pertinent to release. Such as, I had a terrible fight with my father, I got a bad throat infection and I haven't been able to breathe or open my throat or speak clearly ever since. My voice changed. If you've had an experience like this, that's a core impingement. So continue to explore this inner landscape. And as you stroke the core sheath, feel for those impingements. And when you find one, and one may be right behind your heart or right behind your throat, when you find one, it'll feel like it's tucked in or pulled in, like there's a belt around your center. And note the big ones. Note ones where you really feel it. So as you come all the way down, try going all the way down again. Now you should by now have found one place. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't found a place, guess where the place is. It's most likely you will be right. Like, for example, if you had a heartache, it's probably behind your heart, you know. If someone was really cruel to you and you felt it and you feel shame, it's most likely in your solar plexus, and so on. So return to that place where you really notice the impingement. Place your hands into the core sheath on the right and the left sides. So go right back to your spine, and on the right and left sides of the core sheath, place your little fingers. Now just patiently sit with it. And when the sheath releases, it'll feel like a letdown, like a pat of butter melting in a pan, like energy expanding out. So take a deep breath. Don't hold any agenda. Don't hold any, like I wish this would happen, or I hope this happens, or I'm afraid it won't happen. Don't hold any of that. Try to be fairly empty. Just take a deep breath. Stay in the present moment, just feeling it, feeling it, feeling it, feeling it, holding your sheath. This is called witnessing. When you can do this, just holding your sheath, soften your breath, close your eyes, and just feel the inner. Feel the inner. Now shift your fingers to the front and the back. Shift them to the front and the back. And take another deep breath, holding into that impingement. No agenda, only being in the moment, only sensing in, sensing in. Take a deep breath and breathing with the release. And just allow it to let go. And now travel to your next core impingement, wherever it may be. It might be lower down, it might be further up. Just travel to the next one. Put your fingers right and left. Take a deep breath. Just feeling into the impingement, feeling in. Just allowing, close your eyes, soften your breath. Take a deep breath in and relaxing. Just feeling the impingement. Watching it release. Like a pat of butter melting in a pan. And now put your fingers right in the front and right in the back. Take a deep breath. Feeling in. Simply know that it's releasing, letting go. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to feel anything. It just is what it is. So you can continue doing that, but right now we're going to stop and surround the core sheath with universal love and light. So I call upon universal love and light, and you can too. It's beautiful, whitish, golden, silvery colored energy. Just call on it and have it just wrap around your whole core, the whole length of your core, 20 feet above your head, all the way through your physical body, all the way down 20 feet below your feet. down below. All of that is who you are. That's your core. And we wrap universal love and light around it. And letting go, releasing, is required to embrace the answers to our problems. So what if it were up to you? Universal consciousness is there in the inventiveness of life and the remaking of something old into something fresh and beautiful. What if it was really just the expression of your soul that mattered? What if that was what was important? So I'm here to tell you that it is, and I'm here to tell you that the great change is happening on our planet right now. And this release within you will take you deeper into a cosmic understanding, to the very center of transformation of the transcendental question of our time, which is how do we open the gateways to harmony, to beauty, to peace, to connection, and to the power of our combined natures and our real, true resources. As we scrape away the holding patterns, the way you're impinged, held at the center, as it washes away with tears, desires, pain, break the pattern, shatter it into a million pieces, and the power of your need to be free. That power has been inside you all along. It's that power that sends you into a dream state and helps you fly through the air in your sleep. It's that power that gives you the stamina to get up in the morning, to take care of children, or to renew your belief in life. You are a champion of change, a leader in the journey, a pioneer. And as you release all those old and useless patterns, and ultimately the destructive and negative patterns we all share become weakened, they become less. They don't have as much power. If each of us picks up the burden and then lays it down consciously, we can move forward together. And that, my friends, that is the second chance, right there. Because we have exactly what we need to connect with others, to unleash the authentic spirit within. And at this time on the planet, we're really being shaken down to our roots, being asked to walk into the unknown, to crawl into the unknown, to stumble into the unknown, into a foreign and strange place where literally nobody feels safe and protected. But that's a lie. Because this is the place where we can bring back into conscious mind the origins of life, and where we can take part in the continuing development and growth of the human condition. Glory, glory, hallelujah. As I lay my burdens down, I move out of the stuck, static place now and into the destabilizing energy of growth. I am on the wave. We are growing, we are changing, we are shifting from incapable and unable to powerful and strong citizens of choice, of freedom, of spirit. Oh, yes, it's true. We have a chance to change things globally right now, right here in this time, in our lifetimes. And we have a chance to do that non-violently, without anger and hatred bubbling up and flowing out of us. We have a chance to do that with our hearts and our spirits. We have a chance. So take a moment to contemplate an increase in the frequency of the human species, because this is the gateway to transformation and change, and we are speeding up. We're vibrating faster. So reclaim your very nature right now. Because all around you, Source is expressing, filling you with everything you need to bring your work into the world, to become present, and to give your inspired gift, to share freely the hope resting within your heart, Breathing in and breathing out, releasing impingements, moving forward, taking a chance. The action of your lungs is compassionate. The beating of your heart is compassionate. What you see with your eyes is compassionate. But to bring that part of you into balance of light and love and grace and peace, that part that is your soul expressing your true yearnings inside of a brilliant context, you must release the stop-tailed energy that is within you, cramped and stuffed into your chest in competition for your better moments, your second chance. Our second chance is there. However your life has disappointed you, it is only a moment in the long expanse of time. Less than a grain of sand on that, in that hourglass I was talking about. The sand on the seashore, the vast seashore of consciousness. And each of these hurts, each of these times that you've been wounded, you know what? They're illusion. And that illusion washes away the minute, the second that you begin to become present in your life. And by touching your core sheath, by releasing your impingements, you're becoming present. You're seizing your second chance. You're moving ahead. Take a deep, deep breath. And let yourself simply expand into the true nature of your spirit. Your expanded structure is larger and larger, bigger all around you. So let's call for universal healing. Let's call for an earth healing. Let's call for a personal healing. Anyone you know who is distressed or feeling ill at this time, place them into the heart of our community, a heart of our connection. And let's give thanks to all creation, within and around everything, everywhere in this universe, in the multiverse and beyond, into infinity of space, beyond time. And let's integrate ourselves, and let's blend into that integration, and take a deep breath and accept just the possibility that you have shifted, and another deep breath, accepting just the possibility that you have grown, and another deep breath, accepting just the possibility that you are loved, with stabilizing influences of the ancestors from the north and the south, the east and the west around us. Thank you as we integrate together and blend our spirits together. Thanks for coming to join the Sangha, where we nurture the sacred self and the collective field of consciousness awakening in you. I've loved being with you. I'm sorry there was a little bit of technical glitchy stuff at the beginning. And I invite you to join me again for our Sangha next month, which is Meeting the Moment, Seizing Your Power. This is a good one, so be sure to be there. It's been so wonderful being here together with you. I want to thank Cheryl and Bobby for scrambling around and doing what they could. And Cheryl, why don't we share what's coming up next in the Sacred Anatomy Academy world? We have some wonderful classes that we're offering. I have a pet class, Subtle Energy Healing for Your Pet, featuring dogs and cats. And that's coming up on May 5th and 6th. And anybody can come to that. It's from 9 to 12 each of those 2 days. The 6th and the 7th, I think I just said 5th and 6th, 6th and 7th. And you're welcome to join us. Please check our website for registration and payment information. And then coming up on the 24th of May, I'm doing a free class to introduce you to the Sacred Anatomy Edge, which will be followed by a 6-week class. And this is a class that I'm doing live. So normally people can buy this class on my website, but this one will be live. So there's going to be a lot more excitement and energy. And I invite you to come to that. And all the people who've taken the Edge class in the past are welcome to join us again. So next Sangha is in, I think, June 4th at 10 a.m. And I want to invite you to have a beautiful month, a lovely holiday season. Feel your spacious structure continuing to expand. So I want to thank our team, Bobby, Cheryl, Kimmy, and Guige, and I will see you in June, if not before.
Thanks to Desda for a wonderful time learning about and experiencing greater healing. And please check our website for future events and join us in June for the next Sangha Garden.